Sup, you chucklefucks? It's your boy, Dark Raku here with the What If Issei was the reincarnation of Toshiro Hikabana. Not Hikabana. I was like, what the fuck that? What the fuck that? I don't know where I fucking got the bana, but it's Hitsugaya. Yeah, something like that. But not the point. So I remember someone asking me in one of my Kampachi what ifs. I forgot what was his name entirely, but if I can find it later, I will put it in the probably in the video so you can see who exactly asked me this what if, because they just suggested it and I was like thinking about it, and then I just like comment on their like mostly comment saying Bankai or not Bankai, mostly all ice or all matter freezes before me. But yeah, mostly the fact that when Toshiro gets older, he literally, his Bankai just freezes everything in front of him. Yeah, that's what he wanted. He wanted older Toshiro, mostly Toshiro being reincarnated and other things. Like he wanted mostly Issei to become like the older Toshiro one. But I will explain in how that's going to work. But for right now, let me begin to this. What if? Let me shut the fuck up. So we begin into mostly a small house that's right now kind of, well, it's the middle of the night. Now, the reason why I'm saying this in the middle of the night, there's actually mostly someone who's actually kind of sleeping, but then woke up because he heard kind of strange noise happening downstairs. A brown-haired boy with mostly goldenish brown eyes. He always had this weird feeling, always, like when he was younger, or not younger, when he was always just when he was ever born, because right now he's only 8 years old. 2 years ago, mostly his best friend, Iron, mostly left. Mostly went into, well, mostly kind of left to go whatever. Because, yeah, he was kind of depressed for 2 years. But luckily, now he's 8. He's not that depressed, but he became a little bit colder towards his parents and everyone. But not much. Not out of just hatred, but just out of kind of a little bit hatred, but not much. But this is where, well, he hears kind of noises downstairs, like a lady kind of screaming, and then mostly someone dying or something. And then there's other rough voices saying, "Find the boy and kill him." This is where, well, or not find the boy and kill him. Mostly he says, "Where's your son, so I can kill him." It was like a very rough voice. And this is where, well, Issei could actually sense his aura. It was kind of deep and malice and just strong half the time, like very strong. When I mean deep, I mean like it's like very, very dark. This is where, well, mostly Issei didn't really understand, but what he did understand was not to go downstairs. It was too dangerous for him. But he needs to escape somehow. Because, well, he can also feel two life energies underneath him. He can feel the Ryasu from them actually fading away. One is fading away, and that's actually his father's. While the other is actually his mother's, but his mother's trying to like protect the stairs so nothing will happen bad for Issei. But this is where, well, the older, gruffle man managed to send a very powerful attack into his mother's chest, killing her right now instantly, making her life energy disappears. But this is where, well, mostly Issei was horrified. This is where he tried to open the door silently, but this is where, well, when he tries to do it and tries to kind of get sneakily away, this person appeared behind him and says, "Where do you think you're going, brat? I'm not letting you leave. You'll be a danger to my plan in the near futures." This is where, well, mostly, not futures, mostly near future. He turns around to see an older man who literally is having longish black hair, like pitch black hair, with mostly grayish skin that looks like he kind of did crack a lot of crack, but not the point. Has reddish eyes, and this is where, well, he has ears that are kind of pointing like an elf. This is where, well, the being actually wears like a black kind of clothing and has actually mostly 10 black wings. Yes, this is none other than Kokobell, also known as Cocoa Bean for me sometimes. But that's what, well, Kokobell says, "I cannot let you get in my way." This is where, well, mostly Issei widen his eyes. Issei tries to get away from mostly Kokobell, but Kokobell says, "I will kill you. I'll make sure you stay dead. But before I let you die, you want to know the reason and why I kill your parents and you right now." That's where Issei looks at him confusedly. "I killed them because they were a nuisance in protecting such an little brat, an annoying little brat that will be a threat in the near future to me." This is where, well, mostly Issei said, "But why?" "Oh, thank God. Well, you can thank God for putting that sacred gear into your body. You know, since you don't even know what a sacred gear, I would just tell you right now, you have a very strong sacred gear. I can't tell which one it is, but I'm just guessing it's a dragon. And you could have one of the two heavenly dragons. So I'm not taking that chance. Truly, if I would have had my choice, I would have also killed another brat who is named Valerie Lucifer. But she is under the protection of Azo. Damn it. Damn fucking white dragon empress. You, on the other hand, you could become the red dragon emperor. And I should just eliminate you at once. This is where, well, mostly when Issei saw this is where Issei didn't know who Valerie Lucifer was. But for some reason, the Valerie name kind of sounded familiar. Valerie Chan, something like that. This is where, well, mostly it's like if he has met her before. He can't remember that much. But this is where, well, mostly, what's it called? Kokubil says, but whatever, kid, it's time for you to die. This is where, well, mostly he kind of sent a light spur straight towards mostly Issei. But this is where Issei won his eyes. And someone said, dodge, kid. This is where, well, for some reason, Issei dodged. He managed to dodge, but of course, it kind of nicked him in like the mostly shoulder a little bit. And this is where Issei kind of wanted to cry a little bit. But this is where, well, the person with a gentle voice and calm at the same time saying, calm down, do not cry. This is a battle to the death. You have to be calm. Issei didn't know who was talking, but it wasn't sure in hell it was the guy who's trying to kill him, but someone else. It felt so familiar and so gentle. This is where, well, it felt so calm, like if he had known this person for such a long time. It's not his father or mother, because they're completely dead. This is where, well, mostly the older fallen angel says, what? You dodge? That's impossible. You haven't even awakened your sacred gear. I cannot sense any magic of you awakening it. But that's odd. Maybe I just missed. Maybe I had bad aim for today. Whatever, I'll kill you this time. He makes a light sword to try to cut down Issei. And Issei right now winds his eyes. And someone says, calm down. Awaken me at once. My name is... This is where, well, he only could hear a bit of mostly the person's name. Or whoever it was. And this is where, well... This is where, well, the person says, now call me out, Hiramaru. This is where, well, Issei calls out the blade's name because literally a blade literally appeared right in his hand. A purplish kind of handle with kind of gold a little bit. Now, it also has the kind of guard being like a star, and it's a long ass blade that apparently Issei can't even hold. He's like, This is where there's chains kind of going down below the handle, and this is where, well, Issei managed to block the attack from mostly Kokubil. Kokubil winds his eyes and says, what the? This is where, well, all he understands was literally ice actually freezing his light blade. This is where, well, he won his eyes. This is not what he was expecting. He was expecting him to somehow awaken the boosted gear to the very end or something. No. This is where, well, with the little bit of strength, managed to push Kokubil away. He also added Ryatsu into his body. He didn't even notice. He did that out of instinct. This is where, well, mostly, Kokubil says, what the? How? What are you? No. That is not the boosted gear. The boosted what? Issei looks confusedly. Oh, you don't even know. You do not need to know what that is. But for right now, I'll kill you. You might be a threat right now. I didn't know you had some kind of weird ability. But if it's not the boosted gear, then you are not the user. But I still gotta kill you to make sure you don't spread the rumors about the supernatural towards the humans, those pathetic humans. That's where, well, Issei right now tries to block all these strikes from Kokubil, but Kokubil managed to kind of cut off his, well, not cut off his right arm, mostly kind of managed to stab him in the right arm, kind of making him unable to use his right arm, and this is where, well, Kokubil then makes a light spear to stab it through Issei. This is where, well, Kokubil says, now you should be gone and die. This is where, well, Issei falls down to the ground, right now bleeding lots of it because of a huge ass gaping hole in his chest. And this is where, well, mostly Kokubil is walking away. This is where Kokubil says, well, it's time for me to fly out of here. This is where, well, he's kind of walking downstairs after killing people. He has a very satisfied grin. But this is where, well, before he can even step out the door, he felt this very cold, and I mean such bone-chilling presence appear. This is where he was confused. He looked all around. He didn't sense the mouse. Yeah, thank God the mouse didn't show up. He didn't sense Azo. He didn't sense Michael. He didn't even sense any gods. But no, this just freezing aura. It felt so cold that his wings literally went back into his body. Like he refused to even let him fly right now. It's like stopping him. Something's stopping him in an instant. This is where, well, he's confused until he had to jump out of the house because the whole house literally went It froze in an instant. It looked like a fucking ice palace in an instant. This is where, well, he was confused what happened until he felt a presence behind him. This very, very bone-chilling presence. This is where, well, he turns around to see none other than the brown-haired boy, but no longer the brown-haired boy. No, he's no longer 8 years old. He looked like he's 18. He grew up to be like 10 years older. He also, instead of having brownish hair, he has white highlights in his hair. Literally white highlights. And instead of having goldenish brown eyes, he has kind of like this bluish turquoise kind of green eyes. Like turquoise kind of green eyes. This is where, well, his skin is still kind of the tannish a little bit, but not the point. But also the sword that he's right next to is having such a bone-chilling aura. And this is where an ice dragon actually appears behind. Mostly an aura of an ice dragon appears behind mostly Issei. This is where, well, mostly Issei looks at, well, the person. Now, of course, the hole that he still has in his chest is still open. But, of course, this is where a mask is actually appearing on his, like, right side of his face. This is where, well, before Kokubo can react and make another light sword or like a light spirit to try to toss it at Issei, his hand was chopped off in an instant, making him right now kind of spray out like a little bit of blood. He won his eyes. He said, what the, who are you? No, what are you? This is complete bullshit. Weren't you about 8 years old a while ago? This is where, well, the person says, it looks like I reached my full potential. All I had to do was grow a bit, you see. This is where, well, mostly Kokubo says, what the hell are you? Who are you? Huh? Oh, you can call me Toshiro Hitsugaya. But that's not the point. Since I'm now older, I can now reach my full potential of my Bankai. Bankai Dagero Hikaru. Yeah, this is like the first one of this like Shinkai name I just forgot about entirely. But this is where, well, he says, all matter shall freeze before me. This is where freaking Kokubo was turned into ice in a fucking instant. Before even Kokubo can even react, he turned into nothing but a fucking ice statue. Not able to move. His wings did spread off from his back because he was enraged because his arm was taken off. But now he just turns into nothing but ice. He also had a light spirit. That freaking weapon turned into ice. This is where, well, all of it just turned into nothing but ice. It was nothing but a frozen kind of graveyard for a fallen angel. This is where, well, he was already dead because the ice is so much impermanent frost in it that he would never be able to escape. So he was already doomed and dead. This is where, well, mostly Issei right now breathes out right now some cold air from his mouth, like some frost from his mouth. And this is where, well, he then felt weak, and this is where he falls over. This is where, well, all he remembers next was just him passing out. Then the next day happens because the sun literally shines upon his eyes. This is where, well, he's just like, ow, can I need a little bit more sleep, please? This is where he wakes up to see nothing but a frozen palace and a frozen statue right in front of him. This is where, well, his house is all covered in ice. And this is where, well, the person is covered in ice. The person who murdered his parents. This is where he's just confused. This is where he looks down and sees that he is wearing a kind of blackish and whitish kimono. It kind of looks like the captain's kind of giga, but yeah. Or not giga, mostly like the captain's outfit, but yeah. But it's a little bit shorter than him. Well, kind of. Well, not shorter, longer than him, but yeah. But of course, it then shrink down to be small. The sword that's right next to him is still there. The Shinkai, the mostly Zanpakuto most of the time, but yeah. But other than that, wait, let me do something. So, sup, you not sup, what the fuck? Sorry, I just went somewhere and yeah, don't worry about it. So, not the point. So, I'm back, let me go back into the part where I was at, but yeah. So, we go into mostly Issei kind of waking up. Of course, when he sees his Zanpakuto right in front of him, he kind of just grabs it. After a while, after staring at it a while ago, after realizing what happened. Now, this is where, well, he realized that his family is dead, mostly his mom, dad, and also the person that killed him last time is also dead. He doesn't actually remember what exactly happened. The only thing he remembers was not himself. He felt like he was alive, but he wasn't alive entirely, if you know what I mean. But yeah. But of course, Issei, he woke up just dazed. This is where, well, he felt like he was high at the same time. Even though he doesn't know what drugs are, but not the point. This is where, well, we go into mostly Issei kind of getting up and saying, Mom, Dad, I'm so sorry. This is where he bows down. His hair is back to being brown instead of being white, and his eyes are no longer being turquoise green. Instead, it's just a kind of yellowish brown. This is where, well, he looks very frustrated, angry, and just enraged. Whoever just fucking sent that bastard to him, the only person that he only knows about the person that mostly he's a fallen angel. Yes, he found out what a fallen angel is, and that's what the definition of a fallen angel is. And he kind of believes in the supernatural. He doesn't know if devils are real, angels are real, and if it's just fallen angels, then he's killing every single one of them. This is where, well, he's going down the path of revenge somewhat. But this is where, well, a voice actually went down, well, kind of like said, you shouldn't go down the path of revenge. Maybe he was the only one that went rogue. Maybe there's others. But don't just kill all the race just because of one little mistake from one stupid crow. This is where, well, mostly he says, hey, who are you? And why do I keep hearing you? You want to know who I am? Yes. But I already did tell you my name. Oh, your name is Hydron. Yes. Well, what exactly are you? An ice dragon? Ice dragon? I'm gonna have to explain the supernatural to you, okay? So, from my understanding from the supernatural, I don't really pay attention too much to it either. But pretty much that crow really mistake you and me for being the sacred gear, Longitis mid-tier, boosted gear, the Red Dragon Emperor. I don't know why he mistake us for being that, but he's an idiot and realized that we weren't, and we kicked his ass. Well, yeah, he's right there, frozen. What do you mean we kick his ass? Oh, let me rephrase that again. Me, you, and someone else kicked his ass. Wait, there was someone else here? Oh, I will just tell you later. Very, very later. This is where, well, mostly Issei seems confused. But this is where, well, we go into mostly the Ice Dragon, Hydron, kind of actually telling Issei what the supernatural is. This is where, well, he tells about the angels, devils, and fallen angels. Yes, he realized that the two other races are actually real. He also tells him about elves, succubus, what's it called, dark elves, and other shit like freaking like goblins, what's it called, dwarves, and other creatures like other mythical creatures you would think it would be fake to be real. And that's where, well, he tells him about the gods and other shit. And yeah. This is where, well, he also tells him about the dragon race. And Hydro here is actually close to being a heavenly dragon, or surpassing the heavenly dragons. You see here, mostly the two heavenly dragons themselves were quite powerful. That being the white dragon emperor being named Albion, and the other one being the red dragon emperor named Dietrich. They are the strongest dragons, supposedly, to reach the heavenly dragon realm. But this is where, well, Hydron kind of just says that there were other people that were able to closely reach that, like his, what's it called, somewhat sister. Really, he just calls her, not really sister, but she doesn't really hate him, so of course they pretty much just like each other because they can use a little bit ice magic, similar to each other, but not much. And that is mostly Tiamat, mostly a dragon who was also another ice user, but she was actually a dragon king, and one of the strongest dragon kings. She was almost supposed to be as strong as one of the heavenly dragons, but it was never confirmed. There's 5 dragon kings they mentioned out. There's also evil dragons, because Hydro actually did win against one of the strongest evil dragons to ever live, and that is Crom Crutch. He explains in who exactly Crom Crutch was, and he was also supposedly probably at the same rank as one of the heavenly dragons. He was that strong, and they probably would have took Albion and Dietrich to take him out. But he's still alive, probably. He doesn't even know what happened to him. He doesn't care. But of course, from his last battle with Crom Crutch, he does remember fucking scarring Crom Crutch, and also kind of freezing, well, probably a fucking leg or something, or probably freezing a wing, probably destroying that wing also. But this is where, well, he explains that Crom Crutch was a bitch and really wouldn't fuck off. This is where, well, mostly Crom Crutch, if he remembers Hydron's name, he will be very pissed. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly Issei said, I see. So how many enemies do you have? Not many. None of the dragons actually realized I was even a thing. Really, no one actually knows I'm a thing. I see. So what am I exactly? Am I going to be half dragon, half... You're half Shinigami. Half Shinigami what? Okay, let me explain this. When that Mosi Crow managed to send a light spirit into your body, you became half Shinigami, half hollow because you were close to death. Wait, what? Blink, 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 blink. This is where, well, mostly Hydra says, okay, it's going to take you a little, I'm going to take a little bit of time of what a Shinigami and the, what's it called, Hollow is. And also the Sequenti race, but not the point. Because you see here, mostly I Hydro, the Dragon of Ice, well, you can control both ice and water, but not the point, to a really extreme state. But that's not the point here or there. I was a dragon that lived with mostly like the other dragons and the two heavenly dragons and whatever bullcrap. But no one really knows about my story because, well, I didn't really bother and even like fighting a lot of people. I'm not too famous to be known. And if someone even knows about my story, it's just fucking rare to me. This is where, well, Hydra kind of just said. This is where, well, mostly Issei nodded. He says, I see. Well, Mr. Hydra? Don't call me Mister. Besides, we're friends, so just call me Hydra. Or Hydran. This is where we'll most see. Or Hydra. Doesn't matter. This is where we'll most see Issei nod and say, Hydra, so what do you mean about your story? So, I didn't actually become a sacred gear. You see, the sword that you have right now is not a sacred gear. It's a Zanpakuto here. Zanpakutos are usually mostly those of like half of your soul becoming to a sword or whatever, blah blah blah. There's 2 stages, maybe 3 stages in some people's cases, but not the point. The first stage of mostly using half of the blade's power would be the Shikai. You would have to know my first name, or mostly my name first, and then Bankai would have to be the Bankai's full power. So yeah, 2 different names, or not 2 different names, just a full name of what is actually called your sword, and you still haven't actually reached that point, so we will work on that. I see. There's also the third one, but that's only the original Zanpakuto can be used, mostly that of the creator somewhat, but that's not the point. I see. But other than that, so yeah, mostly I'm kind of your Zanpakuto, at the same time I'm not, but not the point. I see. So, will you be considered a longitis, just like you explained? Hell no. This is where, well, he says, then what are you? Not a longitis. I'm not those stupid little fucking gadgets that God created. And besides, even if God decided to pick a fight with me, I would have froze his ass in an instant. Threw his ass into the fucking Arkhams of fucking ice. I don't even care where I threw him. I threw him into a black hole and won't care too much. But that's not the point. This is where he sees Scorchos and says, I see. What is a black hole? Oh, don't worry, you will learn soon enough. We really gotta leave because you did freeze your house and freeze that person. We gotta go. But where do I go? That's actually a good question. You know what? You can go to my cave. Your cave? You see here, all dragons don't live civilized. We're not humans. We're not gonna live in a fucking house. We live in caves. Some of us probably just live in a fucking house like a normal goddamn person. They probably took human form. I have not taken human form because I was like, I don't really want to be doing something like that. It kind of is a little stuffy in the human form, but not the point. Issei nodded and said, I see. So, how would I get there? Oh, just use your Zanpakuto, your Shikai. You can actually create ice wings with them. Really? Yes. This is where Issei grabs the sword, and this is where, well, he says the sword's name, and this is where ice started creating around him, and this is where he imagined wings. He imagined 2 draconic wings behind him. This is where, well, it kind of looks like this, but not much. This is where, well, he just like to fly up in the air and say, wee, this is so cool, so amazing, it feels so free. This is where Hydran kind of just like chuckles and says, yeah, it does. All dragons love the feeling of being free. No one likes being a slave to anyone. So, of course, that's what we dragons love about mostly being dragons. Is we're free half the time. Then there's a couple of dragons that became slaves to other races because, well, they either wanted to be safe or they wanted to have some land. Which, not gonna lie, some of the other race are kind of fucking racist to the dragon race because, well, they don't like the whole thing of dragons becoming more powerful or being much more powerful than any other race. So yeah. I see. What is a slave? Oh, don't worry, kid. I will mention all that later and teach you about it, okay? This is where Issei nodded and says, okay. This is where, well, mostly, we go into mostly a time skip later on. We go into mostly a kind of, well, time skip of being now, well, 10 years later. Or not even 10 years later. 9 years later. This is where, well, 9 years later actually appears mostly a brownish haired boy who just woke up and say, my head hurts. Damn it, why do I have to go to fucking high school? Damn it, Hydrant, why do I have to go to high school anyway? I was having such a good nap, a dream, somewhat. Then again, mostly a memory, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly we go into someone kind of smashing his alarm clock, or not even smashing it, freezing it, and then he just went, shh. This is where, well, he said, shut up already, you stupid alarm clock. Stupid fucking alarm clock. I have to wake up so early to go to fucking school. This is a complete bull crap. I can't believe that my old school literally had to switch me out into a different school. And I can't believe it has to be cool. Wasn't that school full of girls before? And now I'm going to a school that I don't even feel like going? That is stupid in my opinion. Stupid. I wonder if I can go back to the same old school. This is where someone says, stop complaining already. This is where, well, mostly Issei says, you don't know the feeling about me missing some of my friends and some other people. You can still make friends. Well, a bunch of horny teenagers? No fucking thank you. I'm not gonna lie. I always think of any, like, school that's either full of this or full of that gender usually means that they're horny as hell. Yeah, you're not wrong with that. This is where, well, Issei says, exactly. I don't even know why I moved to this, well, I got moved to this school. I'm such an unlucky son of a bitch who actually moved to this school. Oh, damn it. This is so complete bullcrap. This is where, well, mostly Issei gets up, starts washing himself, kind of like getting out of the shower. And you see here, Issei isn't like what's it called, scrawny or anything. He is a lean built. He looks like Gojo somewhat. But of course, this is where, well, he isn't that tall. Well, he is tall. He is actually 6 feet. And this is where, well, he kind of just sighs and says, this is going to be annoying. He gets a school uniform that mostly he had to wear. But they really didn't tell him that he couldn't wear a hoodie or a jacket or any of that. So, of course, mostly he just puts on, like, fucking a black hoodie over him and doesn't really care. This is where, well, he yawns and doesn't really give a damn that much. Or not a black hoodie, it's mostly like a... It's a kind of like black and white kind of like Nike jacket, but not the point. It's like a windbreaker. And that's where, well, he gets outside and sees that it's raining. Fuck. Well, luckily I have a jacket. I can use a bit of power, shouldn't I? Just to freeze some of the ice water. That's where, well, mostly Hydra says, don't make a snowstorm in the first day of your fucking school. He says, scoffs and says, whatever. You're no fun like that. This is where, well, Hydra just says, just hurry up and get to your school. Yeah. Stupid fucking dragon. This is where, well, we go into Issei kind of getting to school. Issei does appreciate the ice dragon for always helping him and for teaching him a lot of things. It's just, well, he misses his old school a lot. Better than this fucking high school that he's going. He literally got so unlucky. The only reason why he got unlucky was because, well, from mostly Kuo, someone actually got kind of expelled and kicked out of school. And of course, instead of just being expelled fully, they decided to switch that student with someone from another school. And since Issei was actually doing good in his academics in his like old school, mostly they switch him out. This is where, well, mostly all his friends were kind of crying, saying, Issei, no, you got switched out, damn. I can't believe we literally lost Issei, one of the greatest students in our school. Like, a lot of people were crying. Some people that Issei didn't know. Some of his enemies just looks at him with a dirty look. But then this is where, well, they chuckle saying, well, it looks like you're going to a good-ass school. No more needing to fight us. That's where Issei said, who said anything about fighting you? I'm gonna get kicked out of that school instantly just to come back. The work here is easy. I'm not trying to do overwork. The fuck? I am not doing shit like that. This is where, well, mostly the bad kids, some of the delinquents, just chuckles, seeing how Issei is. Because yes, Issei does not like doing anything over that much work. He really, if he needs to do like overtime work, he's not doing it. He does not care. He would rather fail. But since he has the best academics in the school, he was the only one that actually got chosen. There was no one else because everyone else has shit grades. This is where, well, mostly Issei does show up to the school most of the time, but that's just because he does it, well, out of boredom sometimes. He shows up to school because out of boredom half the time. Because what is he gonna do? Train? Well, he can train like hell, but right now his eyes abilities are kind of right now, well, just kind of being used sometimes for evil. Not that much evil, but yeah. Of course, he also found out who exactly he's reincarnated of, or who's the incarnation of who he exactly is. He found out the person is named Toshiro Hitsugaya, of course, or yeah, Hitsugaya, and of course he was a strong kind of 10 division, what's it called, captain. Yeah, Shinigami captain. Now, of course, Issei, he might be half Shinigami, he's also half hollow, but he's still human. Yes, we found out he's still human. But yeah, and also a bit of dragon, but not the point. This is where, well, he can hide all that anyway. He says yawning, saying, damn, this fucking school, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, and I fucking hate it. This is where, well, mostly Issei keeps walking until he bumps into someone. This is where Issei says, ow! This is where, well, mostly because the person seems to be rushing, and of course, mostly doesn't see where she was going exactly, and of course just smashes into Issei. This is where, well, mostly Issei just smashes into someone else. This is where both of them falls down to the ground. This is where, well, Issei says, ow, 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 that hurts. This is where he looks up to see a beautiful bluish, like icy blue hair girl with mostly icy blue eyes. This is where, well, she also has kind of snowy white skin. This is where, well, she was rushing because she kind of woke up late to school, and of course her directions kind of got lost because she was so tired. This is where she's like, I'm sorry about that. This is where, well, he says, holy damn. This is where, well, mostly in his head, holy damn, she is. This is where the ice dragon says, hey, don't rise up that sword up from the dead. I'm just saying. This is where he says, hey, fuck you. Whatever. Issei noticed that she's actually wearing the school uniform, the kind of coolest female school uniform. And this is where Issei says, not gonna lie, she looks so good in that. No, wait, I'm literally being a pervert. This is where Issei gets up and says, no, it's fine. This is where, well, Issei kind of looks at the girl, and the girl kind of blushes at mostly looking at Issei, because he seems kind of cute and interesting. This is where, well, mostly Issei says, so what's your name? This is where Issei kind of puts his hand out. This is where, well, the girl kind of grabs and says, the name's Estef. Estef, interesting. This is where Issei kind of also feel a very icy aura around her. This is where Issei gets more interesting also. He kind of likes any person that has an icy aura, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly Estef blushes to seeing Issei's good-looking face. And of course his eyes, well, mostly one of his eyes is being covered up by his brownish hair. A little longish kind of brownish hair is spiky also. This is where, well, Issei says, with one of his goldenish brown eyes and looking to her crystallized icy blue eyes. So, we're going in such a high speed. To school? You know you're running in the opposite direction. Fuck. This is where she kind of just like, says under her breath. Issei hears it, and this is where Issei kind of says cute. Very quietly, but of course the girl hears it and she blushes and looks away. This is where Issei kind of says, well, I can help you go into school. It's my first day, but I kind of already know the directions towards school, isn't it? This is where, oh, she nodded, and this is where, well, she actually realized that Issei is actually a new student. And the new student is helping her out to get to school. She feels embarrassed entirely. This is where, oh, Issei chuckles, and of course they get to, well, the school. This is where, well, when they get to school, mostly Estef says, well, I gotta be going. This is where, well, she kind of gets into the gate, and Issei says, yeah, interesting. But of course, she went inside first because she kind of realized her friend group. And of course, she noticed that Issei is kind of walking in. But of course, this is where, well, he noticed Issei, well, mostly Issei noticed, well, mostly Estef friends. And realized that mostly all of them has either a cold or icy person, well, not persona, a cold or mostly icy kind of like aura around them. This is where, well, some of them had either white hair with kind of like, what's it called, two pigtails. Some of them had mostly just like whitish hair. Some of them had either kind of a bluish hair tint, but not the point. But yeah, then one had mostly black hair with glasses. She's actually none other than Sona Tora, and Issei noticed this and actually remembered her face because she was the reason why he got switched to a different school. Issei has a headache with her. He also remembers she had a very interesting, powerful aura with mostly water and ice. But this is where, well, he also noticed that she's a fucking devil. So yeah, none of the others are actually devils, but they're actually different races. Some of them are humans, but this is where, well, Issei ignores it entirely. Issei's walking until mostly Sona actually noticed Issei's uniform that's not really correct, and she says, "Hey, you, why's your uniform entirely not right?" Issei looks back and says, "What do you mean?" Or, well, Issei is somewhat wearing the uniform, but not much at the same time. Like, the pants are different, but whatever. These are grayish, kind of like sweatpants, because in his old school, he can literally wear anything. Not the stupid fucking uniform that he has to wear. It's bullcrap. That's where, well, she said, "What are you wearing exactly? You are wearing, like, the smells kind of uniform, but you're not wearing it entirely perfect." Issei looks at her and just scoffs and says, "You see here, it's your fucking fault for even switching me to this stupid school that I didn't even want to go." This is where Sona kind of noticed Issei's tone. She narrowed it and realized that this is actually the new student, well, known as Issei Hyoto. Also, she realized one thing. Issei Hyoto was good at mostly his grade academics, but really poorly in mostly, like, showing up half the time in school. Of course, this is where, well, she really had to switch mostly the student, that one bad student, for another student that's quite even worse, but has better grades than the other one. That's where, well, she tries to actually, well, ask him to mostly wear it properly. If not, then she will have to kick them out. Issei said, "With pleasure. Fucking kick me out. I don't care." Issei walks away. This is where Sona realized that she even got a fucking worse apple now that she thinks about it. Because mostly she kicked one bad apple, then got an even worse apple. She cannot help the student, because this student's also the similar same with the other one. The other one was actually willingly getting kicked out because of what he did. Mostly he kind of are another kind of female student, but yeah. This is why, well, the male student was kicked out, expelled, and of course arrested and put in jail. She doesn't know if this one will actually do the exact same thing, but it seems his personality is just kind of mostly rotten. He doesn't like anyone here. He also seems to be the type of person to be quiet and well, mostly very cold to everyone and very isolated from other people. But yeah, she sighs because he probably won't do the exact same thing as the other student, but still, his personality is not that great. She sighs. She really did not want to open this school to be a male student population. Well, for a male population, because there are other perverts. But luckily, those perverts knows how to kind of hide it. They're closet perverts. Then there's the two other, like, very express perverts that hasn't done anything similar to the other guy. But still, mostly, those guys are just, like, open perverts that literally admit whatever they want. And their desires and other things. Which is disgusting half the time, but yeah. This one is not. This one doesn't show that he's too much of a pervert at all. He has a very cold, icy personality and very rotten at the same time. He doesn't seem to like anyone. This is where, well, we go into mostly Issei walking into school. He gets into his class, and this is where, well, the teacher would like Issei to introduce himself. Issei sighs, he gets up and says, "Okay, everyone, hello. My name is Issei Hyoto. I come from this school. Now, if you're wondering, how the fuck did I get into this school? Fucking ask Sona Shitora. I don't know even why or don't even care to even explain or even answer any bullcrap questions in what you want. No, I'm not a pervert. No, I will not take shit from people. If you really want to fight me, I'm kicking your ass. I'm gonna send you to the 9 realms of hell, being that of the hospital. But that is not the point. I'm not paying for your hospital bills if I do break an arm, leg, or probably chop you into a million pieces. I do not care. Now, if you think I'm a pretty nice person, you are wrong. Because in my old school, I was literally called the Ice Devil because of how cold I am in mostly a battle. Now, if you people do not want to fight me, then don't piss me off. Jesus fucking Christ. Also, my hands are rated fucking G for gender neutral. If a girl decides to try to smack the shit out of me, I am not hesitating to bitch smack you into the next realm. Now, fuck off. Issei literally said all that without a care in the goddamn world. Sat back down, didn't give a damn, putting his legs on top of his desk. This is where, well, all the girls are thinking that he's a cool-ass, badass delinquent. Realize that he's not a pervert, but at the same time, he does seem to be the type to really not give a damn. This is where, well, mostly Hydro says, "Nice, smooth," he says, and Issei says, "Fuck off, Hydron. I don't want to deal with this bullcrap. I don't give a damn." This is where all the guys realize that this guy is a hardcore badass. At the same time, he's gonna kick the shit of anyone, that being girl or guy. He does not care. This is where, well, they also realize one thing. He has a very cold, very extreme, somewhat extreme kind of personality. At the same time, he seems to be isolated. But yeah, this is where he's actually sitting next to the two perverts, and the two perverts kind of ask him, what kind of opie sex do you like? Do you like girls with blah blah blah? They're like asking him a lot of things, and this is where, well, Issei looks at the two perverts with a very disgusted face, because he hates perverts. Literally, Issei just hates perverts. He already was annoyed with a friend of his in his like old school from the fact that he was also a pervert, but not much. He wasn't like this open pervert by these two guys. Issei had enough of the shit. Yeah, no, he just didn't care too much. He got up, grabbed the two perverts from the head, and smashed them down to the desk. He says, I'll be going to the principal office, don't worry, fuck it. This is where everyone sees that he was brave enough to just do that shit and walk away. This is where all the girls kind of almost fell in love with him. This is where, well, if Issei actually cared about any of them. But yeah, he doesn't seem to care. This is where, well, the only girl that he seems might to care is one of them that had a very icy aura and probably was in mostly SF kind of friend group. This is where, well, he ignores it for right now and just kind of walks away. But yeah. This is where, well, we go into Issei kind of getting to, well, the principal office. The principal asking him why he's here. Issei said, I smashed two students' heads into the fucking desk. And probably cracked their heads also. I see. Do you know why you did it? Because there were annoying perverts that really pissed me the fuck off, and I would have fucking snapped both their necks if I had the chance? Can I get your name? Issei Hiro. Or mostly Hiro Issei. Oh, you're the new transfer student. Jesus, I didn't expect. You have good, mostly academic grades, at the same time, kind of good behavior. But yet, you still had very bad behavior because you fought, well, mostly a couple of delinquents. This is where, well, mostly, he says, yeah, and it's your fault for mostly putting me into the school. Switch that motherfucker out. Where's that one bastard that mostly got switched with my spots and mostly my old school? Bring his ass back over here. Let's switch. I am really just tired of already being in the school. This is where, well, mostly the principal switch up and says, you've barely been here for only a couple of days. I don't give a damn. This is where, well, I should mention the principal, what he kind of looks like. So, mostly the principal are, well, mostly, yeah, the principal is actually a female. And, of course, she has mostly brownish hair and mostly like these, what's it called? So, she had kind of brownish hair with like this brownish kind of like hair hook. While she also had purplish eyes, and she was supposedly the principal of the school. This is where, well, she looks to be around her 30s or even 20s, but she looks pretty fucking young. This is where, well, mostly Issei said, so, can I fucking leave or something? This is where, well, mostly, her name is, Valinda, Gremory. She's actually the mother of mostly, Rias, but not the point. She's only like the substitute kind of principal because her husband is right now doing something else. This is where, well, Valinda kind of sighs and says, you realize I'm only a substitute principal and I can't just like let you go or kind of let you kind of like be switched out from mostly the other thing? Was because the fact that mostly that student did something horrible. You might have mostly a bad rotten personality and of course hatred to almost anything that isolated, but you don't have the same kind of personality and pervertedness as like the other one. This is where, well, Issei scoffs and says, so what do I have to do? Become a fucking pervert and annoy everyone until I get kicked out? This is where, well, she kind of switches up and says, no, that won't happen. Then what can happen? This is where Issei was getting more angry, and this is where his aura is actually starting to emit mostly an icy kind of aura. This is where his hair almost eyes went into the same color of when he fought against Coco Bell. This is where, well, she notices and realizes that mostly Issei is another person like from the supernatural. But it seems that he is trying to control his aura so it won't let out. This is where it flashed out, but this is where, well, she realized that mostly Issei is the type of person where he does not like doing lots of stuff. He does not like working overtime. He doesn't like talking to people. He doesn't like anything. He'd rather go back to mostly his own school because he had lots of friends there and people to actually fight him. But yeah, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly Hydra says you're letting mostly letting some aura out. And she is a devil, so she already realized that you're a powerful aura user. Issei says, fuck. She is a devil. This is complete bullshit. Why is the school full of fucking devils anyway? Don't know. Whatever. you know what I could do? I cannot fucking show up. What are they gonna do? Call the cops on me and like show up to my house? Well, shit, it wouldn't be the first time I get arrested for doing something like that. This is where, well, Issei kind of mentioned towards Hydra. Hydra says it's better if they don't do that again. That was crazy that first time. I can't believe humans overreact just because you don't show up to school. Whatever, I don't give a damn. Issei gets up, and this is where Issei says, fine, I'll be getting to class. This is where, well, mostly she tries to ask him something, but this is where Issei kind of walks away, smashing the door, and of course she realizes that she is having a headache. This is where, well, she realized how her husband feels about this. She wanted to ask him if he would be willing to join a barrage of her own daughter to kind of, well, free her from a marriage, but it seems Issei does not like anyone. Exclusive anyone. This is where, well, we go into a time skip. Issei going for the whole day. He did mention what he wanted and what he doesn't like, and a lot of people just got scared of his personality, but yeah, so making him isolate a little bit, but yeah. But of course, where, well, mostly lunchtime was a thing, and this is where, well, someone actually walked up to him and kind of asked him if he wants to sit with them. This is where, well, the girl kind of asked. Issei looks up, and it's none other than the same girl that he asked him about in the morning. Issei said no, but of course the girl didn't like that answer and decided to grab his hand and of course just drag him to the desk, or mostly where her and her friend group would be at. This is where even Sona was there and she was confused and why SF even did something like this. Issei tries to resist and get his hand out of mostly SF's grasp, but of course that didn't work because SF was actually quite strong. This is where Issei said, what the fuck? She's powerful, cute, and interesting? Oh, for fuck's sake. This is where Hydra says, hey, you're falling in love. Issei says, no, fuck you. I'm not falling in love for anything. Screw off. This is where, well, Issei gets angry, and this is where, well, he tries to resist the grasp, but no, he can't. Because mostly she managed to drag him all the way, and yeah. Now, of course, all the girls are right now kind of quiet, while SF is trying to talk with everyone, but of course, everyone's staring at Issei. Issei's unnerved with this bullcrap, and he really would like to just kind of freeze time and walk away, but yeah. He doesn't have the ability to freeze time, but he'd rather do something like that. This is where, well, Issei's twat chopping. This is where Issei says, I'm gonna go back to him. Issei gets up and just walks away, and then he is not showing back up. No, that was such an awkward fucking time. This is where SS twat chops and realized that mostly Issei's the type of person to make excuses while kind of getting away, but yeah. She won't let him kind of get away the next day, but she would think of how to entrap him, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly the girls tried to talk to SF and why she even did that to bring in him, the new student, towards most of the table. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly a lot of guys were jealous, but Issei just walked away, making a lot of guys still jealous after him. Now, some guys did try to find what Issei did kick the shit out of them, like kick the brakes off of them. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei went to the bathroom to actually use it because he did need to take a leak. But after that, mostly he didn't go back. Nope. This is where we go into a time skip of him going to the next hours, and after that he goes home. This is where Issei does not show up for literally fucking 3 days. This is where Sona realized that Issei, he just fucking said, fuck it, I'm ditching. Not a care in the world, but yeah. And yes, the cops did show up again at his door. Well, not the cops. This time it was literally the student council president. Issei just completely ignored her, did not care. He just fucking went back to sleep. But other than that, I'll be actually leaving this off for only part 1 of this What If. Other than that, I am gonna go do part 2 of What If Satoru Gojo was the older brother of mostly Issei Gojo. But other than that, bye, see you, and yeah, bye.